Thanks for tuning in to my channel, Tea Talks with Joe. Tonight, I have a special guest on here, one of my great friends. Um, and we're going to be talking about the word marriage material. Okay. Some people say that they are, and some are not. Some men and women. And also, what happens when the woman is ready and the man is not. So, we're going to talk about that tonight. I have my good friend on the line. He's going to be speaking about a male point of view. I'm speaking about a woman point of view. And we just gonna chat it up. So thank you so much for signing on Zoom with me tonight. So let's talk about this. From your point of view,
Hmm.
my special guest, this
Yes,
this
ma'am.
thing anonymous, so I'm just gonna call him Smith.
I
'Cause
prefer Leon. You know,
Smith,
like that Leon that used to be married to that lady from Housewives of Atlanta.
oh, you like Cynthia?
Not really, but I like Leon.
All
Just
right.
one name. You know, like Sade. It's just one name.
That's with class. I like it. Leon.
It's French.
French. Okay. That'll work too. But he
Plus,
don't have another name. It's just Leon.
I'm pretty sure he got a last name, but don't nobody care about that.
I guess you're right. We don't know about Leon,
Like,
so I
like
like Leon. I think
ain't
that
nobody,
he
ain't nobody ask what Seal last name is. You just know Seal.
Sade still. Hey, it is. That is absolutely correct. I can't. You're right about that. So let's jump into this because not that we're going to get on the Cynthia topic, but I think about her sometimes, and I just want to throw this out here real quick. Do you think she's marriage material?
Um,
I mean, we don't know her personally, so we really can't get
like I
into
said,
depth about
from
that.
from what little I know from the outside looking in, uh, I would say no, and the reason being is she's been married a few times, right? She's had a successful career in modeling or whatever. I think that's kind of marriage is kind of outgrown for her.
Oh, that's real. That's deep the way that you say that. I
You
can.
know what I mean? She's had kids. She's accomplished so much,
Mm,
and a lot of that she's done. You get what I'm saying on her own, and that. And once you done been married a few times, it becomes passe unless you're lovesick. You
wow.
get what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mean, at what point? And then I got to think about this though. What purpose does marriage serve her at this point in her life, at her age?
maybe companionship.
You can get that without getting paperwork.
That's true. But some people think like, especially women. I no, I'm not gonna say just women because I don't want to single the guys out because I'm not a man. I don't think like a man. But I would say that some people think that that covenant, that lifelong partner, somebody that they can enjoy and do life with. They just don't want to do that with somebody they're just dating. It's like that committed
I
covenant
can
that
I
people
can
are looking
understand
for.
that, but with women and the way now with women and some men and the way things are going, everything's conditional.
Hmm.
You got paperwork on somebody ain't gonna guarantee they're gonna stay. So why go through the problem?
That's true because I would tell you one thing about homegirl. She don't mind leaving.
Because I
She
mean, if you got a 60-year-old dude and a 65-year-old woman, they dating, they in dating, bam, it ain't no big deal. When you got paperwork involved, that's just a hassle. If you want to enjoy your life with somebody, just enjoy your life. Why do you need the labels? Why do you need all that? That's for more so the younger folks. And I have my how I put this. I have my ideas about that, but at the same time, though, I mean, she really don't get need. She really don't get need to get married. She
at
don't
this
want to.
age. Are you saying like at her age she doesn't need to?
Well, age and life experiences. Like I say that she went with Leon and then the other dude, then another
Peter.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, put it like this. Hey, they said her options are slimming down. She either got a younger, somebody her age, or older, right? And now you got to take the time to go through go through all these jokers again. At some point, you got to realize, well, like, hey, I can be with somebody and kick it with somebody, but I having all that paperwork involved. That way, if they bounce, it's clear cut. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep my stuff. He gonna keep his stuff. There's nothing to fight about. There's nothing to argue about. The relationship ended. Boom, we done.
Yeah. And you know what? When it comes down just thinking about her, I think about recently Lala Anthony did a an interview and they asked her would she ever get married again. And I honestly believed her response because she was not, to me, she wasn't responding out of anger. She wasn't responding on because she's still emotionally hurt behind the situation. She basically was saying like, no, I would never get married again. She said, that's my decision because I feel like that's something that I did in my life. Okay, I experienced it, didn't work for me, and I'm okay with that. So she kind of recognizes that I don't want to be married. And some people, do you think like the majority of people that are hopping on the fight, like, oh, I'm marriage material, are the majority of them because they never been married?
I kind of, yeah. And a lot of them don't even know how I put this. Marriage is not a word. Marriage is work. You know, it's like the greatest job you could have or the worst job you could have. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think expectations of what that really means doesn't hit people till they're actually in the situation.
Until they in it.
You know,
Absolutely.
like if I'm dating, like when I was dating, I would be like, if a woman make me mad or she don't talk to me, I won't call her. It might be 4-5 months. You get what
Mhm.
I'm saying? You can't do that when there's certain things you can do when you're dating that you can't do when you're married.
Right.
But people still try to do them when they're married, and that ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work out for you at all.
So uh, uh, also, I mean, when I was married, I felt like I was like in a secret society because I was raised in a single parent home,
Mhm.
right? So my mom was like, you need to do this, that, right? You need to do this, and that. Don't bring no women home you don't intend on marrying. I ain't trying to remember no names and no situations because I'm gonna mess up the game,
Yeah.
right? So I had a when I did get married, I was like, well, I'm supposed to do this, and this, I think, right? Because
Yeah.
I had no male role models. None of my friends were married. Well, no. I mean, none of my friends. One of my friends' parents was married, right? So, and then one of them had a steady boyfriend because he had a good check. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, those were the kind of my pseudo male role models growing up. One dude, he worked and just sat in his drawers in the house all day, kind of like a black Al Bundy,
Yeah.
right? The other
That
one
is
was like,
Al.
yeah,
Al had
the
a
other one
job.
was ex-military. So, he gave me some kind of structure, even though my actions with him was limited,
Mhm.
right? So I'm thinking, okay, you got to take care of home, take care of family, yada yada yada. And when I was put in that situation, right, I was like, well, the woman, she had gave me an ultimatum, and of course I declined the ultimatum at that time because I was not ready to leave the streets. Well, I
Mm.
thought I was missing out on something being in the streets,
Yeah.
because Jojo, I was knocking them down.
Yeah.
I was in my Uber Prime. My money was so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't be touched. I felt that would slow me down,
Wow.
right? But
Yeah.
then a couple of years later, we end up meeting up again, and I changed my mind, right? So at
Mhm.
that point, I had, okay, I can't be having all I say, well, marriage is financial responsibility as well. So Let me pay off all my bills, get rid of all my toys to make myself financially viable to take on a pre-made family. You get what I'm saying? So I did that. I even moved out of state, you know, and I prepared myself to be married. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like and this wasn't like a 2-3 week process. You get what I'm saying? This took some time, right? So it wasn't like, well, damn, and it wasn't like, no, oh, let's get married Tuesday. No, it wasn't like that. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it was more so something that we talked about, and at that time I wanted, I call it like I don't know if you ever watched Scarface, right?
Some of it.
Well, I always go back to this. Everything with me revolves around either Scarface or Star Wars. So Scarface was sitting in this tub, right? This bubbling tub and stuff, and he was talking to Manny. He's like, Manny, this is what it's all about, you know, dealing with all these women and drinking and eating food and stuff. And he was bored. You get what I'm saying? It that like type of lifestyle gets boring after a while.
Yeah.
And then actually you come to resent it. So I said to myself, if I was settled down, I'm I'm not gonna have one foot in the door and one foot out the door. I'm gonna be all the way in, all the way out. Because I'm not finna waste especially my money, and you know what I'm saying, on something that I'm gonna fuck up.
Right.
So I made that decision to become that person that was eligible to be married versus being forced to be married in order to keep a woman. You get what I'm saying? Because if I would have listened to her, 9 times out of 10, I would have fucked it up. Oh, excuse my French.
That's okay.
But yeah, I would have messed that up, knowing me. So that's something I had to prepare for. Now, some guys are born with it. Some guys, like myself, have to progress into it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of these, like I said, I've met dudes like I know this one cat, I know this one dude, he's so love struck. You get what I'm saying? But it's not reality based.
Wow.
So he'll wine you and dine you and spend his last dime to do it. You get what I'm saying? But when you're only making $35,000-$40,000 a year, I don't think you're ready to take on the responsibility of a marriage and taking care of somebody else's child and your own child.
Right. I mean, cost of living is cost of living itself. How are you doing that?
My mom used to tell me all the time, love is not enough, baby. Ain't no romance without finance. Okay. Not trying to say that he cannot do better.
Yeah.
But why if you trying to figure yourself out, she's trying to figure herself out. Women switch around a lot. Is it really necessary? Do you really want to put that burden on you just to keep somebody? Because a ring ain't gonna keep no man, and a ring ain't gonna keep no woman. No. That paperwork is you know what I'm saying? It's not end all, and people don't realize that.
Right.
Because I think it's them Disney movies that done sold everybody these fantasies and these TV shows, and it's not like that in real life.
Yeah, and some people, like you said, and I'm a firm believer, because when I got married, my first marriage, we spend most of the time hustling and bustling. We're not financially stable like I think that we should have been. You got 2 incomes, and it's barely $55,000, and this is 2 incomes. Okay. So in the midst of that, trying to stand on love alone and having children and trying to squeeze in vacations for them.
I got you.
yeah, I mean, trying to squeeze in a lot of stuff. You got daycare, you got diapers, milk, food, shelter. It caused a lot of I wouldn't say friction, but it just caused a lot of stress on the
I
marriage.
always, I totally understand. Me, I always want to, plan that stuff out and
Hmm.
just, just not. That's why I ain't no kids now. I just ain't knocking up women. You know what I mean? For me, coming from a single parent home, is very important to me that a child of mine is going to be in a stable 2-parent home. I'm not saying that you can't do that, Gerald Levert. Remember that song, uh, "Nothing to Something,"
Yeah,
where you say from Ice T to Cristal,
yeah.
from
I'm not saying that either.
but
'Cause
at the same time,
Mhm.
nowadays, you got to, oh man, I mean, why struggle if you don't have to?
Yeah, make wiser decisions to not struggle. And I mean, to me, I even think about that with younger generations, because it's just not. It was hard when we were coming up. Okay,
Right.
it was hard when our parents was doing it. I mean, may have been a little different when our elders, because the cost of living, I mean, it just wasn't what it is now. So, even with, let's say, for instance, my kids, I would love for them to set themselves up, um, to be financially secured, and knowing you never can be 100% um, ready and prepared for children. But I can tell you this: when one less thing you have to worry about is how you gonna pay daycare and get pampers and have savings and college funds and this, that, and the other for your children. That alone is a burden, because you really get to enjoy not only your children but your marriage more. That's in my opinion, that's in my experience, because had we been able to do some things, and that don't dismiss the fact that we ain't had no business getting married anyway, but I'm just saying we could have enjoyed a lot of things more. So do you think, like, um women, we're gonna talk about the women first, saying like, I'm marriage material, I want to be married, they're like putting deadlines on when they want to get married, they out here seeking, pursuing, you got women out here proposing to men. Do you
Mhm.
think, well, first let me ask you this question from male point of view: a woman, what is your opinion of a woman being marriage material, wife material?
Uh, uh, well, I can't speak for all men,
Yeah.
so, um, well, first, first off, when I hear a woman say, well, I'm marriage material and all that, that's automatically dismissed to me. Because if you all this marriage material, then you would have been married already. Make sense?
Yeah.
And okay, they ain't find the right nigga. Well, maybe it's something about the men you choose. You get what I'm saying? There's plenty that guy that's gonna marry you and do all this crap. He might be 3 inches shorter. He might be 2 shades darker. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of that comes from, yeah, they can get married. They just don't want to marry the person that want to marry them.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? I heard
Yeah.
somebody said, I gotta like who like me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't get a P Diddy.
Yeah. And you just said
Sometimes you gotta settle. Sometimes you
yeah.
gotta settle for that dude from Good Burger. But that's not really settling, because that dude from Good Burger gonna take care of you. P Diddy gonna run through you.
Right.
Um, I can't honestly tell you what I look for in marriage material, because I'm not in the mode of looking for marriage. You gotta remember, a lot of women think men, like, I was thinking about it today. I was getting my car waxed, and this woman was talking to me. And she was flirting or whatever. I was furring back, and then when it was time to handle business, I just bounced because I'm like men like myself ain't always in hunter predator mode. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not always trying to. I can talk to him without trying to get in her drawers
Mm-hmm.
or trying to get her number or stuff like that. Just being generally friendly. A lot of dudes can't separate themselves from that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'm single. I can do whatever the hell I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm not always in that mode. So, and I haven't been in looking for wife and married mode in a long, long time. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then after being and married and divorced, I can tell you what ain't gonna work. you know,
Right.
that's pretty. I can tell you the signs, right? That is not gonna work for me. Not some of that stuff might work for somebody else, but it ain't gonna work for me.
Right. I think that like marriage material is different for each person. Like some people think that it's something straight across the board. I
Mm-mm.
don't think so. I think like what's marriage material to me may not be marriage material to another woman because I know what I want, I know what I need. And so those things would apply to me. And then just vice versa. I think with men the same way. They know what they like. They know what kind of partner they're looking for. Somebody that they can do life with. A lot of people skip that part, and that's an important part to me because you can have this, that, and the other, like financially, but can you do life with this person?
I don't even think a lot of men look that far. But put it like this: there's a lot of dudes around here need a place to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so they're gonna do whatever it takes to keep a roof over their heads, because sleeping under the stars outside is mug. You get what I mean?
Wow.
And,
So this.
and just put it like this: having a roof, um, not sleeping under the stars, um, food, access to food
Somebody cooking it.
and sex. That'll
Wow.
make that. That's you might as well say that's 40% of dudes right there. If a woman can
So,
provide all three things, they're gonna marry.
oh gosh.
I can't speak for what kind of husband they're gonna be if the marriage gonna last long. But if you meet those three criteria, you're gonna get married.
So let me ask you this, because this thing saying I have 9 minutes left, and I got to pull your brain a little bit from a male point of view, because I'm always talking from a woman point of view.
Mhm.
So let's just say this. Um, like majority of men, okay, so she cooks, she's clean, she has a good career, she a lady, just like you said, like intercourse on point. If she has children, her children is clean, ain't got to worry about her children being disrespectful. I like the upbringing, this, that, and the other. So is that like a ringing bell to me? And like ding 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 ding. One, I know I ain't gonna have to do too, I wouldn't say like too much work, but she's not looking for help.
Well, let's put it like this: for me, that's all outside stuff. That's all superficial stuff. You never know anything about somebody till you go through some things. You get to know them. I didn't know how she pay up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people around here driving these Benzes, living in these houses, and they got a credit score of 500, or ain't got no gas in the car. You get what I mean? It looks weird.
Right. It
I
looks
can't
good.
even listen. I was telling my nieces there, I got trust issues with this new baby hair they got in the front going on. I don't know who I can trust anymore.
I don't have any baby's hairs.
But man, they got that stuff. I seen this lady, it was all the way to her eyebrows. And I was like, I don't trust that. I don't know who you are. You know, everybody's deceiving, men are deceiving. I seen a dude, they got all these chains, right? And car got a boot on it. So it's
So it could
yeah,
be.
that would make me have interest in her, but I got to get to
The
I
nitty
need to know if
gritty.
she pay her bills on time. I need to know what kind of credit score she got. I need to know how she can handle pressure. I need to know, can she follow instructions?
Oh, yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
I agree
You
with that
know,
100%.
dealing with a man like me in my line of work is a little different than dealing with a regular Joe that come home every day.
Yeah,
You get, because I expect a woman to think for herself, be able to do for herself. You get what I mean?
yeah, yeah, because you're not there. You're not there to
And plus, I get a lot of my uh opinions based on like the strong women I had around me, like
yeah,
my mom and my sister. Like my sister should do hardwood floors, not because she wants to, because she's cheap, and she's like, well, shit, I could save money by doing this myself. But she's able to do things without a man around.
without you
I'm
being
not
there.
trying to say it go as far as putting in hardwood floors. You get what I'm saying? But if
Right.
you're sitting on your butt watching Tyler Perry, and your shower head messed up, and it take 5 minutes to change the shower head, why you gonna wait for a dude to do that?
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? But like I say, some women ain't willing to learn, or some women just don't care and be like, well, that's your job. You know what I mean? That's how you could be a help to me, by taking care of the little stuff. Then
Somebody
you can
that
get
can hold it down, like with you, because
right.
of your level of your profession, what you have to do. But like for guys that come home every day, so your line of work is, to me, is I wouldn't say rare, but you only have a selected few of guys that actually is doing that, or like just like military, you only have a selected few of people that are going out
Well,
on.
it takes a certain type of woman to deal with people in my position, because
Yeah, yeah,
and we get burned bad. You know, everybody I know that's married, maybe like not everybody, I would say at least about 60% of them, if they could not be married, they would not be married.
wow.
You
Is it
know,
like people that that are doing what you're doing, but are these just people in
no, these like people that I know doing what I'm doing, and people that I know that are home, have a regular 9 to 5. What's crazy is the white people, they happy. Is the black people, they happy.
What do you
So I'm
hear?
trying to figure out why white people, you like these young white boys. I work with a lot of young. They don't cheat. They don't participate in no fuckery.
Yeah.
They don't cheat. It's the black people that do all the damn cheating and creeping.
So let me ask you, what are some of the reasons why they say they would prefer not to be married?
They're just miserable. A lot of them just stay just because of the kids, right? Or in the aspect they're so financially entwined, it's cheaper to keep her,
Wow.
or they're just being run. You get what I'm saying? They've lost all their cojones. Let's put it like that, right? So they're so worried and afraid to be scolded or yelled at. They're like, yes, dear, yes, whatever you want, yes, yes. And then come to work hating life,
Mm. Do you
you
think that
know?
a lot of them, because remember we're going back, and then we'll get ready to wrap it up. We're going back to what we originally started off with, is people connecting themselves to just anybody, or not taking that time to really say like, hey, this is the person for me, or this person can be my person. I can do this with them. And they're jumping and marrying people so prematurely out of convenience or just wanting to be loved. Like some people will tell you straight up, listen, I don't like to be by myself. I have to have that companion. So do you think that has a huge part of it when you hear people say stuff like that?
Jojo, what I've learned is when it comes to life, love, and relationship, everything's roll of the dice. You know what I mean? And that's from personal experience. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. At one time you thought that was the best decision you ever made. 2 years later, that was the worst decision you ever make. It's just everything changes. Love changes. Nothing's stagnant. Everything's consistently moving. If you've been married 20, 25, 30 years, if of course people growing apart, You get what I'm saying? That's gonna happen. You know, it's understandable. You've been married 2 years, now you can be married 2 years and 6 months, and that'll happen.
Yeah.
You know, when reality, you know, of the situation hits. There's no magic cure or magic bullet or pretty much anything that can prevent that. We need these experiences in order to grow. Just like, you know, when your first marriage to your marriage now, you've grown from that person you were then to the person you are now. You get what I mean? Now,
Right.
there's a chance that if you would have married the same guy when you was younger, that you might not have did right, or he might not have did right
Yeah.
because he didn't have that experience. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So you got to get your soul hurt. Your living conditions got to change. You got to cry. You got to feel fucked up in order to make it to that next level, because you'll never appreciate nothing if everything's given to you so easily.
Right.
You know, even my marriage, even when my marriage failed, I was like, I was feeling bad, and I was like, what the hell I feel bad for? I got out scot-free, and I got an opportunity to start over again,
Yeah.
right? And I won't change my standard of living. I won't go from polo to Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Leon,
therefore, yes. So
I think
therefore, that
this recording is about to stop.
okay.
But I do want to have a part two. Can we do a part two at another time?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be out the country in the morning. I'll hit you up when I'm on vacation again.
Yes, because I need more of this. And unfortunately, Zoom just don't allow us too much time. But thank you
Girl,
for
you looking like Angela Bassett right now.
I know. I'm gonna hit you up on them so we can
All right.